Hi, my name is Ulrike Guérot. I'm very happy to be in Strasbourg today. I'm sitting in Place de la République, like there are so many Place de la République in France, like in Lyon, in Paris. And it's very important to have a Place de la République, and we are going to talk about this. I'm Professor of Political Science and Study of Democracy at Danube University in Krems, which is in Austria. I'm also the director of the European Democracy Lab, which is placed in Berlin. And I'm truly happy that you invited me to the Forum for European Citizens Education. And very unfortunately, I can't come because I'm traveling a lot and the day were already blocked. So we decided to do this little YouTube clip, which is a kind of substitute for the keynote that I should have been delivering. So thank you for accepting this little video. And what I'm going to do is to give you 2 or 3 ideas that I have on European citizenship. I think the thing we need to do, and that is why actually I wrote my big book on the European Republic like Place de la République. I wrote this book because the Republic is about the citizens and it's not about the states. And if you go back to the Treaty of Maastricht, which is the Treaty of Ever Closer Union Europe in '92, you will see that the European Union has a 2-pillar structure. One pillar is the Union of States and the other pillar is the Union of Citizens. But actually, we only have a Union of States because ultimately it's always the Council that decides. And most of the time the Council does decide in a non-transparent way. Citizens are not consulted, and then people are actually upset. And we have seen the last result of this with the Spitzenkandidaten formula, which has been distorted, and now there is a women commissioner, who is a good woman, but actually she did not even have a candidation for the European elections. So always the Council decides and not the citizens, which is a problem of today's Europe. And therefore I think we need to work on the Union of Citizens, which is the second promise of the Maastricht Treaty. But if you say Union of Citizens, and that is basically the one and single sentence I want you to keep in mind when we are talking about European citizens. Union of Citizens, what would it mean? First, citizens, what does it mean? We most of the time say, oh, we are all European citizens and we love each other and we share the same values. That's what I hear most. But actually, being a citizen, citoyen, does not mean sharing the same values and loving each other. Citizenship means actually having the same rights, which is a totally different thing. I'm a German citizen. I have many German citizens in my home country, Germany, who vote for Pegida or for the AfD, the Populist Party. I definitely don't share values with them. I do not even like them. But I do have the same rights with these German citizens. So what my little intellectual fight is that we move away from this perception that citizens is about values, citizenship, but actually we understand it's about equal rights. Now, if you say citizens are those who embark into a political project having the same rights, then you are finding yourself with the definition of Cicero, what Cicero says is a republic. Those citizens who are embarking together into a political project on the basis of same rights, they found a republic. And that's where I say, hey, couldn't we do a European Republic if we claim just the same equal rights for all European citizens from Lisbon to Belgrade and from Dublin to Belgrade and from whatever, Lisbon to Helsinki, right? So what I'm saying here is that we are promised that the EU is about a legal entity. That's what we are told. A legal community, eine Rechtsgemeinschaft, you say in German. Actually it is, but my central point is that the EU legal community is basically delivering legal equality on goods. That is the single market. That is the battle we fought in the 80s. That Italian pasta can be sold in Germany, and that the German beer is not unique, and that the French cognac can be sold in Finland, and so on and so forth. So what we basically did in the 80s was legal equality for goods. We called it the single market, meaning that every single good legally produced in the European Union can be sold in any place, right? So nobody has a veto to veto Belgium or Dutch beer in a German supermarket. That's essentially equal rights for goods. Now, because we have the single market, then we said we need one currency. So we said one market, one currency, because it's a little bit silly to be on one market and have the carrots there in escudos and there in lira and there in gulden and in shilling. So one currency. But the currency, the euro, is actually only legal equality for capital, for the money. And the one thing I'm saying now is one market, one currency, one democracy. And the democracy is about the citizens, and citizens need to be equal in rights. Now, you say, okay, not everybody is in the euro. Yeah, sure, that is a two-step approach. We would make it happen basically that more or less all the countries now come into the euro to make that happen. I think that's really a condition for the next step of euro. But then those who are already in the euro should become one democracy on the base of equal rights of citizens. Now you probably say, hey, we are already European citizens, we have the same roaming fees, we have the same upload filters, we do have the same regulation on glyphosate, the same food safety, we are already equal. And then I say, no, we are just part, because it's the part of all of us who is basically a consumer. That is covered in what we call Unionsbürgerschaft, union citizenship. That is where the EU delivers us equality. Food safety, for instance, upload filters, Article 13a. But in the part of us, which is the centrality, the essence of citizenship, Pierre Rosanvallon, the French sociologist, called it the sacre du citoyen, the holiness of citizenship in a way. That is voting, the access to social rights, and taxation. And in these three things, the essence of citizenship, actually we remain nation-state citizens. I'm a German. The lady with whom I'm sitting here is Bosnian. Then there are the French and the Finns and the Portuguese and the Irish, and we do not pay the same taxes, and our companies do not pay the same taxes, and we do not vote the same way. And I'm a German based in Austria, and I could not vote in the last Austrian election, although I'm living in Austria, and. So, in the essence, that is what the German sociologist Ulrich Beck years ago called national fragmentation, national containers. So, we as citizens, although we are the sovereign of the European system, we are sitting in legal containers, which are our nation states. And I think we should break through it. And that would just mean the one single thing I would love you to take back from this little keynote through a YouTube clip, which is citizenship does not mean loving each other and sharing the same values, but citizenship actually means having the same rights. So if we want to be really European citizens, we should claim for equal rights everywhere on the European continent. And if we were to do it, we would enter or debark into a European Republic, and that is what I'm basically wishing for, working for, and hoping for. And with respect to education, I was also asked to do a couple of sentences on education. And I must say, as an academic who's teaching a lot, that I want you to read books. Books, real books. I do not want you to be on PDFs and to think that if you have read a PDF or whatever, digital food, take a book. Because the novelty of a book is if you go to a library, you find the book you were not looking for. Because in a library where the books are actually standing, you are looking for a book and that's your curiosity. You want to find a book. But then you are in the library and you discover, oh gosh, the book next to my book, the book next to the book I was looking for, or the book one shelf above is even more interesting than the book I was looking for, because books talk to each other. So if, as a teacher, I'm always asked now by the youngsters and the students, can you select the literature? Can you give us the PDFs we have to read? And then the only thing you do is reading the PDFs, and then you are basically trying to learn them by heart or to repeat them. That is not fulfilling what science is, which is your taste for curiosity. So if I have one wish, and if I think the youth of Europe will do the European Republic, or should do it, or work for it, then go for reading Rousseau, go for reading Kant, go for reading the scriptures of the Enlightenment, go for reading books and let the books talk to each other. And the more you read books and not IT stuff, I think we are one step closer to real citizenship, because the citizenship notion, la citoyenneté, le citoyen, it stems from 1789. And that was the moment in the French Revolution, actually. And I'm very proud because I'm today in Strasbourg. And the little book, I went to a bookstore because I'm always into books. And so I bought 4 books. But the one I was proud to find is Olympe de Gouges. Perhaps you don't know her, but actually she was the woman who, because she was hungry and angry, she declenched the French Revolution and the march to the Bastille on 14th of July, 1789. So it was a women's march. So I was very happy to find this book. And because she did the Bastille, now we have La Place de la République. Yeah? So the moment of the French Revolution was the moment when basically Untertanen, I don't know the English word now, but people who are not free, Untertanen, turned to citizens. Yeah, citizenship was born in the French Revolution, so that is very important to know. But citizens are equal, and that is the first sentence of the Human Rights Declaration, which is all men are born free and equal in rights. And this is the heritage of Europe. So go back to reading the stuff and understand that citizenship is about rights. Then I would be very happy, and I would trust you to build the European Republic in the best heritage of the values of Europe. Thank you.